Sony once again announced that they're not going to be at E3 for the second year in a row. And honestly, I'm not that mad about that. Back in the day around middle school or high school, E3 was something really exciting. And I want to say that was between 2008 and 2014 for me. It was so exciting coming home from a day of school and just being able to watch E3 if, the conferences weren't going on that early. And you'd see trailers and all of these great games coming out. You get to see stuff that is coming out in the next year, stuff that's coming out this year in the fall. Some years you get lucky, you see consoles get revealed at E3. And then one year, like we all know, Nintendo started to pull away from E3 and start doing Nintendo Directs. And at first I thought, well, this isn't really a good thing because it's all just going to be broadcasted and it's not going to be a big display. It's not going to have a big presence like it would if it was on a stage. But as the years went on, we got to see more and more that wasn't really important. The stage presence wasn't what made E3, it was more so about the reveals. And yeah, it was definitely fun seeing stuff like Reggie saying his body was ready, and looking back at the stuff about the Wii and Wii Music, the cringe compilations definitely made it a little bit worth it. But these days, people aren't really looking for that sort of engagement. They're looking for something different. I feel like having one day out of the year or even 1 week out of the year where every company shows off what is their best is just so archaic. Nowadays, even right now as I'm recording this in the month of January 2020, people are looking forward to a Nintendo Direct that isn't even announced yet. People are looking forward to something that has never been announced or confirmed by Nintendo. And I don't want to go on a limb and say that Nintendo started this wave of Nintendo Directs and these online presentations, but honestly, this is the type of thing that I'm talking about. E3 is just dying out because it's just so much easier to put out a video randomly and just announce it 2 days beforehand and just give the information. Sony doesn't even have to show up at E3 or do anything with E3 because it doesn't matter. 2 days from now, they could announce a state of play and show off the PS5 and everything about it. Hell, one thing that really surprised me was at the Game Awards, Microsoft just showed off the new Xbox. That's normally something that I would expect from an E3 presentation, being on this big stage and showing it off and having this big announcement for all these games and the hardware, the specs, everything. But no, they just decided, hey, the Game Awards, free advertising, fuck it, let's just show it off. And even if it wasn't the Game Awards, they could have shown it off at their own event. It doesn't really matter. And looking on Twitter, I see a lot of people who are talking about the networking experiences they have with other companies and YouTubers, and that really seems to be the driving force for why people still want E3 to be around. And I can absolutely see that being the case because that is where a lot of these meetups happen. There are a lot of YouTubers and influencers who meet up at these types of events like conventions and they network with each other. They actually get to know each other and they collaborate on ideas. And as I've seen it over the years, E3 seems like it's more so of a gaming convention than anything else. I've personally been to anime conventions and gaming conventions where they had these quote-unquote world premieres for different indie games and other anime, and honestly, it just seems like it's the same type of deal. And all of that is well and good for the YouTubers, the influencers, but why should that be a thing that Sony or Microsoft or Nintendo have to worry about? Yes, they are the titans of the gaming industry. They are the ones who produce the gold mines of what we play. Their presence alone brings in all the fanboys and brings in all the attention to E3. But just like I say that, it draws an attention to E3. Not necessarily to each one of them, just to E3 as a whole. Speaking personally, I'm more of a Sony and Nintendo fan more than I am a Microsoft fan. If it just so happened that Nintendo said, you know what, we're not gonna do an E3 Direct this year, I'm gonna have literally no reason to watch E3. As someone who's not hyped up for a Microsoft console necessarily, or any Microsoft exclusive games, I'm not gonna have that much of a drive to go and watch E3. Now obviously I'll go and watch the videos later on, I'll watch trailers after the fact, but I'm not gonna be hyped to watch it live. And even if I was a person who was going to travel and go to E3, that's going to be a decision I'm not going to make because I'm not trying to spend money on a plane ticket, hotel tickets to see Microsoft. That presence is so important, and it does suck for a lot of the fans who like to get hands-on and go to these conventions, these interactive experiences, and actually get to play the games way before they come out. But for the question of whether or not E3 really needs Sony to be a part of it in order to be good, I'm gonna say yeah. And it's not that I think that it has to be Sony in particular, it's just that they have to have more content, they have to have more support in order to justify people going in the first place. Hell, it might even be good for the media outlets out here because they don't have to focus on as much content now. And do I honestly think that E3 is going to die out someday? I don't think it's really going to die out, I just think that it's going to have to shift to change along with the times. If you're going to have this event that's focused on these big reveals and these announcements, you have to change your focus a little bit. Any of these gaming companies could literally, at this second, tweet out something, tweet out a trailer, post it on YouTube, do anything that would be just as big and important as if they had it on the show floor. And as a spectator, I know that does suck that it's going to be more low-key from now on, but if you're going to focus on the experience for people who are going, that might actually be a good idea. There's going to be less spectacle and there's going to be a lot less eyes on E3 because people aren't going to care as much if they're not going to see these big reveals. But from those I've seen on Twitter, it seems like E3 is actually a good experience for those who want to go and travel and experience it. Hell, myself included, I would love to go to E3. Even if they're not going to have a lot there, I would like to go just to experience it at least once. And if you open up the show floor to have more games and more playable demos available, cheapen up the ticket price a little bit, then yeah, you still might see companies pulling away from it, but if it's gonna happen anyways, you might as well boost the engagement factor. But hell, I'm no business major and I'm not gonna tell the ESA how to do their own thing. But yeah, with how much we've had Nintendo Directs and the state of plays, I definitely see E3 dying out in the next decade, if not sooner than that. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you really think that E3 should go away? Do you think that we're going to be focused more on these Twitter tweets and all of these video experiences that are just posted up randomly or announced 2 days ahead of time? Let me know everything that you think in the comment section down below. I hope you all have a wonderful day and I'll see you in the next video.